Shinoa also agrees with this choice. On another part of the battlefield, Crowley, a vampire noble, inspects the dead soldiers. He notices Krull Teeps, another powerful vampire noble, leading her forces. Crowley sees a vampire noble attacking Gurren, who is tied up. Gurren refuses to give in and withstands the attacks. Crowley intervenes, reminding the noble that Krull ordered not to kill Gurren. However, the noble insists that Gurren would be better off dead. Gurren realizes that he needs to endure the beating to leak credible information and lead the vampires to Shinjuku. Farid, another vampire noble, joins the scene and greets Crowley. Crowley accuses Farid of leaking the locations of the nobles, including Gurren's. Farid teases Crowley, claiming he sold out his friends. He admits that he gave away Crowley's location to divert suspicion from himself and his clique. Crowley acknowledges that he had fun and Farid thanks him for helping with the plan. Farid reveals to Crowley that there was another person orchestrating the operation, and that person is actually Gurren himself. Meanwhile, Gurren endures the interrogation by the vampire noble, who asks if he wants to die. In response, Gurren spits in the noble's face and smirks. Enraged, the noble throws Gurren to the ground with such force that the ground beneath him is crushed. Krull notices the commotion and sees Gurren trying to say something, but the noble continues to attack him despite the intervention of another masked vampire noble. Farid explains to Crowley that Gurren is a half-demon, almost becoming a complete demon. He reveals that Gurren has two personalities, one being an idealist who wants to save his friends and comrades. During the beating, Gurren seems to zone out and is joined by another presence. In his mind, Gurren sees Maharu, his deceased ex-girlfriend, smiling and holding his head in her lap. She urges him to surrender to her, but Gurren tells her to shut up, even though he lacks the strength to push her away. Farid explains that Gurren's other personality is the result of being possessed by Maharu, who has become a demon. In Gurren's mind, the sword he carries moves on its own and he grabs the vampire noble's boot. His eyes turn red, and the sword slices the noble apart, killing him as promised. Maharu appears beside him, holding his sword, and Gurren instructs her to give it back to him. The other vampires watch in uncertainty as Gurren displays this extraordinary power. Krull steps forward, aware of who she is dealing with. Possessed by Maharu, Gurren attacks Krull, but she easily knocks him back and pins him against a wall. Krull orders the other vampires not to interfere as she confronts Gurren alone. She believes that Gurren is a messenger of Maharu, a person she made a deal with before the world collapsed. However, Gurren reveals that Maharu is actually dead and that he is possessed by a demonic form of her within his curse gear. Krull realizes she has been deceived and needs the Seraph of the End experiment to succeed. Gurren tells her the testing site is at the airport, and she directs her forces there. Meanwhile, Farid and Crowley observe the situation and discuss the transformation of the world that is about to begin. As Shinoa's group prepares to rescue Gurren, they see warplanes approaching, which turn out to be the Demon Army's transportation aircraft. Kirito, a member of the Hiragi family, steps out of the aircraft, surprising everyone. He thanks them for completing the mission and declares that they will achieve victory over the vampires. But Narumi and Shinoa sense something is not right and remain ready for a possible fight. Shinya confronts Kirito and questions his declaration of total victory when vampire nobles are approaching. Kirito demands to know where Gurren is, and Shinya tells him that vampires have captured Gurren. Kirito is shocked and accuses Shinya of trying to conspire against him. Shinya is confused by Kirito's statements, and Kirito realizes that Shinya is unaware of Gurren's true nature. Kirito reveals that Gurren has always tried to protect his comrades and looks up to Shinya as a close friend. He dismisses Shinya and focuses on his plan, which is separate from the Demon Company's plan. AI brings a crate adorned with defensive spell tags, and Shinya, Narumi, and the others become wary. Kirito orders them to disarm and comply with his plan. Shinya tries to reason with Kirito and asks him to let them go, given the dangerous situation they were in behind enemy lines. Surprisingly, Kirito agrees to overlook Narumi's rebellious attitude, but he reveals that he is going to die soon and orders his hidden plan to begin. The crate opens, and sharp, linked rods with arrow points stab out in all directions. Narumi uses his cursed gear to protect himself and his squad from the rods, but they eventually break through his defense. Many members of the Demon Army, including Rika and Iwasaki, are fatally impaled by the rods. Sayuri and Maito try to fight off the rods, but the situation becomes dire. Narumi confronts Kirito, who claims that the deaths are for the advancement of humanity and for justice. They engage in battle, and Kirito's spears attack Narumi, but Kimazuki and Yoichi intervene to protect him. Yoichi's shot knocks back Kirito, but he remains unharmed and continues to deflect attacks. Kirito spares Shinoa's life since she is technically a Hiragi, but he then tells her that she can die. The situation becomes even more dangerous, and the Demon Company members face a formidable and deadly opponent in Kirito. Shinoa is targeted by the deadly chains, but Yu arrives just in time to save her. Mika is with him and warns that humans are attacking each other. They witness the horrifying aftermath of the massacre caused by the chains, with the rods still impaled through the bodies of the deceased soldiers. Yu confronts Kirito and demands to know why he is doing this to his comrades. Kimazuki tries to target the source of the rods, but their attacks are intercepted by the container. The squad members use their cursed gear to defend against further attacks and decide to retreat. As they try to escape, they are met with a large number of vampires descending from the sky, blocking their way. The masked noble orders the vampires to kill all the humans, while Kirito declares they will exterminate the vampires. Shinya assures Yu that this chaos is a chance for them to escape. Mika agrees and suggests they take this opportunity to get away. Goshi and the rest of the squad decide to stay behind to protect the kids while they escape. Shinya helps clear a path for them by firing his rifle cursed gear. The kids start running through the battlefield, with Yu leading the way and Mika close behind. Yu is determined to protect everyone and fights off attacking vampires as they run. Kimazuki notices that Yu is getting too far ahead in his eagerness to kill vampires. Eventually, Yu reaches the other side of the battlefield, where he unexpectedly comes face to face with Guren, who is now with the vampire forces. Yu is relieved to see Guren safe, as they had to leave him behind before. However, to Yu's shock, Guren's eyes look suspiciously red, and Guren suddenly attacks him with his sword. Yu is relieved to see Guren, but Guren, who is possessed by Maharu, tries to attack him. Mika steps in to protect Yu and fights Guren. The Shinoa squad rushes to see what's happening. The fight between Guren and Mika ends with Mika being thrown onto Yu, knocking them both down. At the same time, Kirito gives orders for an operation to start. Guren commands his sword to drink the blood of humans, vampires, and demons. Yu realizes something is wrong with Guren and questions him about it. Guren mentions the Seraph of the End and starts attacking vampires and humans. The chains coming from the box where the angel is kept spread across the battlefield, piercing the bodies of the people Guren kills. The box explodes, and Mirai emerges as an angel. Kirito orders to capture the angel, who turns out to be Shiho Kimazuki's sister, Mirai. The angel summons the fifth trumpet and blows into it, causing a powerful sound that changes the landscape. Spikes emerge around the angel, and chaos ensues on the battlefield. Shiho becomes furious and tries to stop what's happening, but Guren stabs him. Yu and Mika both try to fight Guren, but Guren ends up stabbing Yu through the chest. As Yu lies injured, the Devil of Destruction, Abaddon, emerges from Mirai's back. Abaddon starts wreaking havoc on the battlefield, with horsemen killing both humans and vampires. Shinoa urges her squad to escape, but Kimazuki, injured and desperate to save his sister, can't get far. Mika tries to carry the injured Yu to safety, but they are attacked by horsemen. Despite defeating the attackers, Mika gets injured. Yu wants to save Guren and his other friends, but Mika insists that Yu should leave him behind and save the others, considering himself as Yu's only family. Mika's wounds cannot heal within Abaddon's barrier, so he urges Yu to go without him. Yu, however, refuses to leave Mika and wants to confront Abaddon, the creature causing all the chaos. Yu is willing to sacrifice himself and uses the power of the trumpets. Asuromaru, the demon inside Yu's cursed gear, calls him a traitor for seeking more power, but Yu doesn't care about the risk of losing his humanity. He blows into the second trumpet, causing a powerful explosion of fire. Afterwards, Yu emerges as the King of Salt, and his appearance drastically changes. He fights against Abaddon and the Horsemen, turning them into pillars of salt with his new abilities. Despite suffering injuries and losing one of his wings, Yu continues to fight and manages to defeat Abaddon, restoring the battlefield to normal. Mirai is freed from her chains, but Kirito strikes Yu with lightning, causing him to collapse. Yu then clashes swords with Kirito, but Asuromaru intervenes and knocks Yu unconscious. Yu's appearance changes again, with horns sprouting from his head. Shinoa squad arrives to rescue him from those trying to capture him. As Mika regains his ability to heal, he and Krull try to retrieve Yu. Crowley attacks Krull, but she defeats him. Farid then holds Krull in a headlock and bites her. Mika tries to help, but Krull orders him to save Yu instead. Krull eventually goes unconscious, and Farid takes charge, declaring her crimes of treason and assuming control. Guren orders Narumi to hand over Yu, but Narumi refuses and creates a barrier to buy them time to escape. Kirito tries to stop them, but they are blocked by the vampires. Shinya confronts Gurren and realizes he is possessed. Yu and his group continue running, leaving Mirai behind for now. Shinoa informs the pursuing soldiers that they are withdrawing from the demon army. Mika clears the path for them to escape. 4 months later, the humans have won the battle, and they plan their next move. Vampires watch as Leskar arrives in a helicopter. Yu, Mika, Shinoa, and the rest of the group leave a small house dressed in different clothes. They plan to rescue Mirai and Gurren and head back to Sanguinum. They talk like a close-knit family. Suddenly, Yu walks into the water, seemingly possessed, and states that it's starting to rain. Watch this next video. See you on the next one.